Talk Radio. I'm Dr. B. We got Matt. We got Bengals Are Garbage, aka Josh, in the room. We're going to be talking. So we're going to talk a little bit about the UPS tragedy that happened recently. Talk about the I don't even want to call it a defense because you got to actually stop people to be considered a defense. But the Bengals, we're going to talk about the couple of the elections to include the New York election of the future Communist Party and a little bit about Cincinnati asking for some more anal rapage because we reelected the same mayor here on Idiocracy Talk Radio.
It's idiocracy, but you gon' see the value and respect though when you talk with me. So come on, baby, walk with me. It ain't a topic that the crew can't touch. Share our views and our vibe. What we hide? It ain't much. This ain't bluffs, this the crew, yeah, we got it. Share our thoughts and our views, you can't stop it. Said this ain't bluffs, it's the crew, yeah, we got it. Idiocracy, tell us what's the topic. Yeah.
8,000.
All right, welcome back again. I'm Dr. B. We got Matt. We got Bengals Are Garbage, aka also known as Josh, that fucktard that seems to have disappeared yet again. Um, so anyway, starting off, unfortunately, if you had not heard, just recently there was a tragedy with the UPS cargo plane that crashed over in Louisville, Kentucky. Um, Killing, I believe, 12 crew members and uh, and then 6 or 7 on the ground to include a child. So first and foremost, our hearts, thoughts, and prayers go out to the family and friends and family of those that have lost because I mean, this is truly a tragedy. From what the reports are going out, if you haven't seen this for some strange reason, the cargo plane was taking off, and as it was taking off, the engine was already on fire. Uh, did not have enough elevation to really do anything, and unfortunately crashed. There was a lot of damage done because it was a full tank. It had over 36,000 gallons of jet fuel. And then on top of that, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, it crashed into a.
Recycling petroleum facility.
So two combos did comes out to make one bad situation very quickly.
I think I think it said 5 miles worth of fucking fires.
Yeah, it's ugly. I mean,
That's as ugly as Josh trying to get on this goddamn fucking thing here.
he's a special one, I'll tell you.
Well, I had it on my laptop and I changed it to my iPad. Well, I'm finally able to get on the fucking studio. So, technical difficulties tonight, guys.
So,
'Cause you got to change your damn name for a third time.
so there are still multiple people being reported as unaccounted for right now. So they're not listed as part of the victims, but that's because they don't want to count somebody as being lost until they actually confirm or find. But it said that as of today, Wednesday, there are 16 different families that have reported loved ones that are unaccounted for. And then also said that there are some two workers at an auto business that was struck are still unaccounted for as of Tuesday evening, and there's no update yet on them as well. So just an all-around bad situation, and hopefully this doesn't come out as some kind of negligent thing where somebody was fucking around and didn't do their job. It's already an unfortunate situation. If nothing else, I hope they'll obviously do an investigation. They'll try to recreate any of the mechanical issues, try to figure out what happened, and hopefully they're able to determine if there's a faulty wire, faulty system, something that caused the fire, and get that fixed.
Well, what they're coming out with right now, they said this plane was 34 years old as of right now. And as of right now, UPS in general is starting to change over. They're starting to get rid of those planes, those cargo planes.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how long planes last. I'm not in that field at all. I have no experience whatsoever. I've been on one plane ride my whole life. So these cargo planes are carrying a lot of shit, obviously. It's 34 years old. Um, they're starting to update shit, obviously, but like it says, it was taking off, had a full tank of gas, and just tragedies happen.
Yeah, so this is a repurposed plane. So this used to be a passenger plane that UPS repurposed into a cargo plane. So to Matt's point, it is a very, very old aircraft. The one thing I did not like the fact that the governor came out and had a press conference today. And the first thing he started mentioning, instead of the whole thing with the flight, was the food stamps, the SNAP benefits.
Oh, Jesus.
It's like, come on, you just had a tragedy.
Right. Read the fucking room, dude.
Yes. I understand that's something that Kentucky's facing. I understand that everybody in the country is facing that issue right now, but you just had a tragedy at one of your airports. Talk about that.
Right. Focus on that. Don't use this as a platform for something else.
Correct.
No, I agree. 100%. Now, I will, just so to kind of bounce back to the age, I just did a quick search just because want to see. But so, example, American Airlines airline fleet. So, the average age of most of their aircraft is about 14 years old. They do have over 1,000 mainline aircraft in their fleet. But they do have still in use some aircraft that are around 25 to 30 years old.
Hey, do me a quick favor, Joe. Google how old Air Force One is, because that actually
It's kind of different when you're upgraded every fucking year in Air Force One, though.
I mean, you're still flying a very old plane.
Well,
and I think that one's over 30 years too.
Well, Air Force One is over 35 years old.
Yeah. And I understand that one's obviously national security. It has to be checked on and scrutinized over and over and over. But my point is, like, that's another reason why we probably need to start looking at upgrading all planes.
Well, here's the thing, though: is you got to remember is that it's not just. I mean, airlines in general, they do upgrade their planes, but it's also a cost-effective thing. I mean,
I know.
They're a business, and they're looking. I mean, they're obviously going to look at safety because let's face it, if you losing customers, people don't want to fly on your shit anymore. But at the same time, they're not going to buy new jets every 5 years or 6 years like a car.
No, I mean, I'm not saying every 5-6 years.
I know you're not, but I agree there are some aircraft out there that maybe there needs to be some stricter regulations about the age, the cutoff for these aircraft.
Just go back a couple of months ago. Didn't fucking Trump just get his own jumbo jet?
Well, it was donated for Air Force One. The new Air Force One was donated.
I got my own jumbo plane, baby.
Well, they have to, so with that one, they have to go through it all pretty much and
well, yeah,
security risk.
It still has to be. Here's the thing: just because the frame and the engine and everything is going to be like all the interior is going to be stripped out and it's going to be redone, and because like it's Air Force One, you're talking about a mobile command center that if shit hit the fan, the President of the United States and his advisors can get up in the air and be mobile. Reverse that, it's also used for transportation of the president of the United States. So, I mean, it's a big fucking deal, and so they got to make sure everything's tight knit in there. So 100%, there's going to be money put into it. It's not that it's a free thing, but I love, speaking of Air Force One, since we're talking about planes, like I just read one of the guys that I'm a friend with on Facebook. He was listing out all these Democrat talking points, and he's like, "Look at this. Trump is making a gold-plated plane," and I'm like, you guys are fucking idiots. Like, they're not gold-plating Air Force One, you fucking jackasses. Like,
Maybe just a toilet.
You know what? Fuck it. Put a gold-plated toilet in there. I mean, shit. It's not fun. It's cold. I'll tell you. I sat on one, and it's not fun.
Did it sprinkle the water in your tushy?
No, Saddam did not have a bidet. But I can say that I sat on one of his golden toilets. So
You had a golden shit?
I didn't get to take a shit on it. That would have been cool. But
Matt, what's the drink of choice tonight?
yeah. Who's our sponsor? Who's our sponsor, Matt? Jack Daniels.
Tennessee whiskey.
Sponsor us.
Original Jack Daniels whiskey.
Not Blackberry today.
No blackberry. That's because his brother drank it all.
Whatever, that motherfucker drank most of the shit. Last show. He said that was some good stuff. He said,
It wasn't good shit. And I recommend it with Dr. Pepper Zero. Sponsor us.
I recommend it too. Sponsor us.
But with the Jack Daniels, we are doing Cherry Coke Zero.
Zero sugar.
Zero
All right.
sugar.
So So since Josh brought up the governor of Kentucky bringing up stupid shit, again, we understand that it's a big hot topic right now with the whole
Re-election.
food stamps, and and like he said, read the room. Don't bring up shit that's different when you're talking about right now. You're supposed to be talking about this tragedy that happened. Family members lost loved ones, and friends and family, lost people, and you're going to sit here and use this to talk shit about the food stamps. At the same time, I will say, like, this should be a wake-up call for a lot of Americans that there's too many people that are relying on the government. Like, that's not a good thing when the American people are so reliant on the government that if they decide to fuck around and not do their jobs, even though they're getting paid, you suffer.
Well, I mean, I think it's a wake-up call for the American people too, to realize these people in Washington don't give a fuck about you.
Nope.
All they care about is trying to find millions of dollars.
Matt saying it.
Millions of $1 million so they can
Money.
sneak in a bill that
Money.
will end up funneling the money back to them somehow. Some way, somehow.
100%.
That's how they get rich. It's not their salary. Yes, we all know that it's insider trading on the stock, but it's them getting money from lobbyists. They get this bill through, they get money here, it funnels back in right to their pockets.
Or they use the money to sponsor their campaign.
Yep.
To give them what they want moving towards the future. Like, hey, I sponsor you, now you got to give me this place in Texas to open a casino, but it's not going to happen.
So,
Sounds weird.
talking about government control, relying on the government and everything else. So let's talk about the fact that I'm gonna mess his name up a little bit, but Saran Madani.
Mandani.
Just call him Mr. Muslim.
No, I'm not gonna be disrespectful in that sense, but I mean, I will say he's a communist fucker. Um, so won the election for New York City, which I will tell you right now, I'm saying it right now. You're gonna see a couple things happen at New York. You're gonna see a big exodus from the wealthy. A lot of corporations. You're going to see a very big exodus out of that area because of him. Just to kind of go through. Now this is CNN's reporting, so we'll take it for what it is. But so a couple things that he ran on his platform that he wants to impose when he's elected, which now he has, so he's going to probably try to make do. So, first of all, universal child care. So, implement free child care for all New York City children ages 6 weeks to 5 years old, which would expand the existing pre-K to 3K, pre-K and 3 to, I don't know what 3K programs launched. And he wants to fund this by, guess what?
Taxing the rich.
More taxes on high earners and corporations.
So anybody that makes $1 million or more.
Wants to put in fast and free buses. Well, people hear that word free and they don't think about one thing. It's only free because tax money paying for it.
Who?
And this is another thing that people don't realize. That's a government. That's not a New York thing. That's a federal government thing. That he's got to get approved by the governor of New York.
What's that?
The whole to get the money for the free buses.
Free buses and government stores too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the other part, the city-run grocery store, which is funny because if you actually do a search, there have been other cities and other locations that have attempted a city-run grocery store, and they fail miserably.
There you go, right there. Big. That is the quote word right there. Miserable.
I think it was in Kansas City.
I think you might be right. That was one of them, but I mean, they fail miserably because one, you're relying on the government to maintain, filling, restocking, and paying, and everything else. Well, the problem is that at least in the situation that I saw, the one that I'm thinking of, and it might have been Kansas City, Josh. People were like, "Well, fuck it," It's so they were constantly just taking stuff. The shelves were not getting restocked very quickly, so they went in there and they were looking at. I mean, it was bare, absolutely barren. They're like, "Well, this is supposed to be a community grocery store."
It's got to be funded somehow.
Right.
Let's go. Let's go. The guy who's been in the industry for 26 years of this shit. So first of all, customer service, shit to none.
Right.
You're not paying nobody. Yeah. So the customer care situation, they don't give a fuck. Yeah. Having fresh produce, they don't give a shit. It is what it is. At the end of the day, they don't care. They don't have standards. I mean, the government's funding it. You get a limit for a certain amount of money, and you're done there. Unless you're making a good profit, I don't know how the government runs that, but kind of shitty.
Well, you think about, I mean, and Matt, just to kind of add on here, I'll let you finish your thought, I apologize, but, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the reasons that some of these, successful corporations, like Kroger's and Myers and all these grocery stores, the reason that they're successful is because they bring in a profit, they're able to get in quality goods, which then they can sell better products to people. Now, I'm not arguing price or anything, but I mean, that's the reason that you can go into some of these stores and you find better products versus going into a fucking government run something that's going to be your basic what do I want to say? Basically lowest bidder materials.
Well, I think what you're saying is, look, you can go to Kroger's and get name brand stuff, or
Even the off-brand. Even the off-brand stuff's fine.
well, that's what I'm talking about. I think these grocery stores, these free grocery stores, are going to get like the off-brand of the off-brand of the off-brand.
Oh yeah.
So they're not
which
going to get
which has quick expired dates.
correct.
So therefore, if you're not replenishing or refreshing the shit correctly, and if you're not paying your workers the proper wage, they're just not going to give a shit. Honestly, let's be honest. This day and age, the work rate is lower than shit right now.
Mhm.
So you're paying. So government has a certain limitation of like how much they want to pay per store. But if you're not making profit, you're below the profit line. You're suffering. And guess who has to pay for that shit? Your taxpayers, correct?
Yep.
It's going to come back on your
Oh, yeah.
taxes.
And,
Well, and to your point, that's some of the things that he ran on. Yes, he wants to tax anybody that over $1 million an extra 1% to 2%. That
well,
should
it's
be
not
enough.
extra. It's not extra.
He's at he's at a 2%. He's at a 2%.
He wants
Yeah.
a flat 2% for anyone over $1 million, which sounds great and all. But then on top of that, so example, like right now, the corporate tax rate in New York City currently goes up to 7.25%. He wants to raise it to almost 12%. Like,
So
a lot of corporations are going to say, "Fuck you, I'm out."
well, that's my point. You're going to see these people say, you know what, I'm not going to work here. And a lot of these companies are going, hey, you can work remote. You can go live wherever you want, work remote, and you're going to pay taxes there. You're not going to have to pay taxes here in New York. So therefore, where is he then going to get the money? It's got to come from somewhere. It's going to drop right down to the middle class. They're going to get taxed, and it's going to be them that's going to be hurting and suffering. It's not going to be the millionaires. And the one thing he said in his speech, he's going to close these billionaire tax things that Donald Trump is using. What he doesn't understand, how many Democrats, vote Democrats, that paid for him, Chuck Schumer, AOC. That means you're going to go after them too. You don't think they're going to open their eyes and go, no, you're not going to do that because we're going to take all of our funds and not put our money into your campaigns.
Well, and then,
Not going to happen.
And then on top of that, he's talking about the tax raises and stuff like that. He is also proposing. Now, this sounds great, but again, the money's got to come from somewhere. So the minimum wage in the city is currently $16.50, which, I mean, granted, if you live in certain places, that sounds like a lot, but the cost of living in New York is extremely high. Sponsor us.
Sponsor us.
He wants to move it by 2030 up to $30 an hour. So double it. Okay. First of all, and here's where people don't understand, like, the impact that raising minimum wage does. One, corporations and stuff that are having to pay that, they're not going to lose money. So all they do is just raise their prices. So yeah, you're making $30 an hour. That's great. You can say you make $30 an hour, but you still have to pay a shit ton for your product. So you're still barely making it. Then on top of that, the money's got to come from somewhere. But then also, sorry, I went off on a tangent there for a second.
Go figure.
I know.
The money has to come from somewhere, obviously.
It's the minimum wage. So I'm gonna step in and kind of, I think this is kind of the way you're going is, okay, let's talk about McDonald's. McDonald's, you start paying these employees $30 an hour. what do you think McDonald's is going to do? They have to raise their rates in order for them to make a profit.
So more inflation.
Or what they're going to do is eliminate positions. They're going to cut jobs. That's what's been going on in California. Is you have the biggest, one of the biggest burger chains in America, in In-N-Out. They were California. They were West Coast. Where do you think they moved their headquarters? They moved it to
Florida.
Tennessee. To Tennessee. So their headquarters is now in Tennessee. Yes, they still have chains there, but they're starting to close them chains down, some of them stores down, because they can't afford to keep them open.
Well, and
Because-
to your point, Josh, not only are they going to eliminate the positions by closing places, but also the places they're going to keep open, you're going to start to see more self-checkouts. So then the position gets let go there.
I don't know about that, but I get what you're saying, Joe.
Well,
I
I'm
don't
just
know
saying
more
they're going to find ways to save
Yeah.
costs.
Yeah, I mean,
Because they
McDonald's
wanna make
is
a
already
profit.
starting to do that.
And then
Walk
what I was
into a
trying to say
McDonald's
also
right now.
is not only does this impact, the companies, the individuals themselves, but also your mom and pop stores, your privately owned.
Right there.
That's gonna fuck them
Keep
over
going.
because you can't afford. I can't afford to pay somebody $30 an hour. So then guess what? Now I can't hire anybody because I can't afford to pay the minimum wage. So now I got to close. So now you're getting rid of the mom and pop shops, the privately owned individual. So now it's all corporations. And it fucks everything up. But people don't care. They don't think about those things. They hear, I'm gonna get more money. I'm gonna get free shit, and we're gonna stick it to the rich.
Well, the thing is, like you said, with these private corporations, like you said, when the minimum wage goes up like that, so like your grocery stores, inflation is going to go up too. So these mom and pop stores, they buy stuff from these grocery stores for their stores. So they have to raise their prices up a little bit to stay off inflation, so they can make a profit too to keep running. And it can be they don't have to hire as much. They can keep the basic minimum, a couple of people here and there, but you're overworking yourself. And it's just like, is it really worth it at the end of the day? I mean, you're beating yourself up so bad. I agree with you. Mom and pop stores, what we were based off as immigrants coming to America is what built this country. Now we're like, fuck you guys.
Well, here's a couple of my points real quick is, have you guys walked into McDonald's lately? Actually walked into the store. You can't order food at the desk anymore. There is a big machine that you have to order from. You just lost a cashier position. Probably 2 to 3 per store. Because now you don't have to do a first shift, second shift, third shift, however long you're open. That's 3 jobs. Right there. Then you got to start looking at it as economically where these stores are. Okay, this store continually does bad. We're not doing good in it. We're going to shut it down. What's that going to end up doing? That hurts that community because that community doesn't have that store anymore. And to your immigration, it's very noticeable that what's been going on is you look at a lot of these stores. When you walked in, who was working there in the evening? A lot of kids, a lot of first-time kids' jobs, right? If you're looking at McDonald's, fast food restaurant, historically, it's been a lot of African Americans. Now you're starting to see that turn into a lot of Hispanic people. So they're taking American jobs.
Well, I think,
Well, they're Americans too, so
Are they though?
well, and I think, and Matt, correct me, please correct me, but when he was saying immigrants and stuff like that, what we're talking about is, the foundation of the United States, people that come over here legally, whether it was the beginning of the country or even now, you're trying to find your own way. So you open up your own shops, you know, and everything else, and by
the government
requiring
gives them
higher
money to
minimum
do that.
wages, and all these things, it fucks those things up for those that are doing it legally. You know, and then also, you know, Josh, kind of bounce off your point of, you know, what we used to see, you know, teenagers and stuff that were working these shifts and stuff like that. That's one of the things people don't understand, and that's where we've drastically dropped as a society. Is minimum wage is not was not ever put as supposed to be a sustainable living wage. It's not meant to be. You can make the rest of your life on this. It was for a couple reasons. One was to ensure that companies could not basically
Control you?
I don't want to say slaves, but essentially work you.
I mean, we're all slaves. Whether we want to believe it or not, we're all slaves. We're all slaves of corporations.
But you know, there was back in the day where companies didn't have to pay you shit. They paid you 10 cents a day. You know, there was no actual set. You got to pay your employees this set amount. So it was to make sure corporations weren't being, where people weren't being taken advantage of. At the same time, the minimum wage was also put in place as a stepping stone. You know, majority of people, the intent was that, you know, there's always your exceptions to the rule, but the intent was that minimum wage was put in place so that you could get that first job, get the experience and everything while you're in school, while you're in high school or anything like that. You're working, you get your education, you get your experience and everything, and then you moved up to a higher paying position.
Or, like you said, or you get the training in that position and you advance in your company.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, here's another thing that we don't talk about is what does it take to be a full-time employee to get benefits? 32 hours.
It depends. Well, it depends on the company because it's so full benefits. You know, obviously,
usually
full-time
32 hours.
32 hours and above. But then there's some companies you got to work there for a year before
90
kick in.
So mine's 90 days, and you're freaking a regular, but you still pay the union dues after that. But it's up to a full year until you actually get benefits.
So what will the employer do? Hey, I'm going to have you work 31 hours, and that way I don't have to spend money on benefits because I got to pay you $30 an hour.
Depending how big your business is, I get what you're saying. That's not
but that could happen too.
Well, yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Oh yeah.
No. So like for instance, in my job situation, we have statuses. Now, if you fill an application out and you're a status 3, and you have limitations to your ability, that's a problem right there. So we don't have to give you the 32 hours, let's say. Now, you build your seniority up over the years, obviously. Everybody does that through a company. So at a certain point in time, when you get a status, your availability is limited then because you have availability throughout the whole week, first shift, second shift, third shift. Obviously, if you were first shift when you first get hired, they're going to keep you on first shift. Second shift, they keep you on second shift. Third shift, they keep you on third shift. But you also get an incentive on third shift too because of night premium and shit like that. So it's a little incentive. But if you're on first shift and you have so many years in the company, you pretty much get that situation. Now, you might be limited to a couple of days if your status is lower, but that's what the company working with you instead of against you.
Yeah, but that's also with their set rate of whatever the minimum wage is at your place of business. If they are required to go up to $30 an hour, then I think they would limit that is what I was getting at. If you,
Well, and also you got to put into account, because Matt said key thing here is that his company has a union. Some places don't have unions to fight for them or to be a unified, or even there are some companies that have unions. And I mean, when I was a teacher and a principal, more for teachers because principals don't fall under the unions, but unions don't do shit. I'll be honest with you; they collect money. Versus, I know that like Matt's company, the union actually does fight for you, and does a fairly good. I mean, I don't know everything about their union, but I've heard that they fight pretty well for things.
You pay into a union, you might as well use them to your advantage when you need them when they're done.
yep.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, so I mean, you're paying a union weekly. Like I said, the probation period for Kroger is 90 days. After that, it's a year for benefits if you want to accept it or not accept it. That's your decision.
I gotcha.
So let's get back to Mondami, and besides this policy, New York City had a very horrific tragedy back in September of 2001, caused by foreign Muslims, and now you've got the biggest city in America.
Well,
Hold on before you go off.
well, I just want to make sure to correct. Was they a part of the Muslim faith? Yes, but they were Al Qaeda terrorists.
Correct.
So you got to make sure, because just because they're Muslims,
I'm not going there. I'm not going.
I know, but I'm just
saying.
making sure.
No, I'm not going there.
Go ahead.
What I'm going is now New York has elected a Muslim to run New York City. Now, if you go into Muslim, if you look at the Muslim, what their faith is, they believe in Sharia law, which they hate women, they beat women, they are allowed to rape girls and have babies once they've hit puberty. They hate gays, they hate trans, they will kill you, and that's kind of what New York will actually start to look like if he starts getting his way. And I'm not saying it's just going to be New York. I'm saying what Muslims are doing now is they don't care about war anymore. Their goal is to infiltrate and not assimilate. So completely destroy the Western civilization by coming into the country, following their law, getting into power, to politics, getting into places of power, so they can slowly change the laws to become Sharia law. I don't think it's going to happen within the next 10, 15 years, but when our kids have kids, our grandbabies, it might be that way. It's an extreme, but
it is an extreme.
But what you don't realize, look up Dearborn, Michigan. It is happening there now.
Well, I will say in Michigan, what they're doing is, I mean, it's an overpop. But here's the other part to it, is that, like, you're going extreme in the sense that, like, the things that happen in Iran and Iraq and, these areas where Sharia law is practiced, like, that's also backed by the government. And I get what you're saying about them infiltrating the government and all that stuff and trying to, but we also, there's and this is where it drives me crazy when I hear Democrats talking about, like, oh, Trump's going to become a dictator. We have a checks and balance system for a reason. So the only way that your scenario happens, which not to say it couldn't,
Look at London.
Possible. I mean, shit,
look at London.
Possible.
Look at London right now.
But again, London is not the United States. We have a checks and balance. That's the reason we have.
That's what Dearborn, Michigan thought too. I'm just saying.
But he definitely has a lot of pretty interesting. And then also, I love that he when he won for mayor and on his speech for saying that he won. I believe he was quoted as saying, speaking to President Trump, saying, "I know you're watching. If you come for one of us, you have to come through all of us."
Mm-hmm.
Talking about
Nice.
illegal immigrants and stuff like that. Like I love that these even these judges and stuff that are stepping so far out of their capabilities by saying it is required that the president pass to where food stamps are being provided. It's like, look, you're a fucking judge. You don't get to just make laws. That's not your job. Your job is to, and part of the judicial system is your job is to say whether the laws are legal or not. Not to say that these have to be laws or that you should do these laws. It's to say if they're legal or not, if they're constitutional or not. The legislative branch votes on laws, puts the laws into place. The executive branch, does their job. Judicial makes sure that it is constitutional or not. They all have their different part, and I just love he's like, they're all saying this shit, and then for him to say, oh, you come for one of us, you come for all. It's like, okay, you know what, you guys fuck off. The biggest thing for some of these people is fuck around and find out. That's the biggest thing. Fuck around and find out because.
Well,
Go ahead.
that's the thing with our president. Like Ray said, is he's going if it happens, he's going to send ICE into New York, and he's like, hey, you're not going to take any immigrants at all. Well, I don't care what you think or say. We're going to fight you. Well, the president says, well, this, then we'll arrest him. I mean, he's breaking the law. Anyway, so just go back to the situation about him in general is, first of all, and I'm not trying to defend him because I'm not against him. I really don't know much shit about him. He is an American citizen.
Yeah.
So he went by the proper protocols. I mean, he got elected through the American citizenship. I mean, as dumb as New York might be, it's New York. There are a lot of immigrants. We want immigrants to come to our country because they want to feel safe and sound. Legal immigrants. So that's where we're at. So I'm kind of with him on a little bit on this. The billionaires and the millionaires. I don't see why we shouldn't be able to tax them 2%. What's it going to hurt, honestly, at the end of the day? I get it, but they're making millions of dollars and billions of dollars on us somewhere, somehow. It might help the blue class out. Who knows? But also, I'm not into that realm where I know all that business leverage. So let's just say, hey, what's up? A billionaire. What the hell are you like? What are you going to do with $45 billion? You can't help your city out, right? I mean, I know it's a tax write-off sometimes, or it's just like, hey, you know what? You see all these poor people on this shit street, veterans. Why don't you help them out, man? I just don't fucking get the greediness of this country anymore.
Well, and I will say, I get your point, and one, it's because we live in this great country that if and people get in this mindset that billionaires and stuff didn't work hard for their money. Well, they had to take a risk. Now, yes, some of them inherited the money, but for the most part, a lot of the billionaires and millionaires, they had to put a risk into their money to make money. So bigger risk, bigger reward. So they put that in. Well, if I put a bigger risk in, if I like you said, Matt, veterans, we risk our lives, but we don't get shit back.
I get you.
But again, My one day is next week. My one day is next week. You know, we're focused. I mean, majority of our money comes from corporations. Our tax money comes from, just because we're only taxing 1.5%, and I think it might even be less than that. But when you're talking millions upon millions of dollars, the 1% of the population in the United States that are the millionaires, they provide a big chunk of the tax money. Reverse, like you said, oh, well, if you have $45 billion, like, what do you need $45 billion for? Well, they might not need $45 billion, but you know what? If I had $45 billion, like, just like they do, I'm going to donate some out, and I'm going to expect some tax returns because I'm donating out, I'm giving back. But I'm not going to give away my whole fucking money because here's the thing. Name one person out of all these people that if one of the billionaires gave out all their fucking money to everybody, okay, gave it out. Now they're in poverty. You think anyone's going to step up to give them money back?
I mean, I know I see what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, when you make over a certain amount of millions of dollars, I think you should be taxed to get back to your country. Because honestly, you live in a country where like dreams come true. And I'm not saying that you have to give up all your fortune. Like you said, if you donate $1 million to like your local high school that you went to and they got a new gym facility, write that off. I get it. But upon $500 million or more, come on. I mean, it's just disgusting that like this country could be way better off if someone just does a little bit more than you expect.
Well,
We can be honest about that.
but at the same time, also think about this, and and I see what you're saying, but also, let's say the millionaires donate it. Let's say somebody has $1 billion and they donate $900 million. Okay, and that $900 million gets. I mean, we can put it into government programs, and guess what? More than likely, bless you. More than likely, bless you.
Bless you.
Now you're just doing it for attention. More than likely, let's be honest, the majority of the average person is not going to see that money. Okay? If someone donated $900 million, the average person is not going to see that money. Government's going to do their thing. I mean, shit, you got fucking the House and the Senate that are fucking getting paid while they're not doing anything. So the money's going everywhere else. Reverse, just like food stamps and all this other shit, people talk about, like, the black people talk about reparations for slavery. What does it solve? If I hand you $100,000, majority of the people in the United States, majority, okay, and not just black people, white people, Asian people, like, the majority of them, you hand them a big chunk of money, what is that going to do? It's not going to change. They're going to buy stuff.
They're going to buy stuff. They're going to waste it within the first 30 days.
It's not going to survive. It's not going to be one of these things where they're now sustained for a year or 2 years or the rest of their lives. They're going to waste it. Because when you get handed shit, majority of the time, you fucking waste it. I will also say, like, because I've worked as case management with homeless veterans and stuff, I have worked with veterans that truly wanted to get off the streets, and I mean, there's a lot of programs out there to help them. There should be more, but I've worked with veterans that wanted to truly get off the streets, so helping them find jobs, finding houses, stuff. But I have also had when I worked as a case manager, I had at any given time I had 50 different veterans that I was working with. Of those 50, 25 of them were individuals that refused to get moved into an apartment or a house or anything like that because they had been on the street. They basically were getting rid of any kind of responsibility. They didn't want to have the responsibility of paying rent. They didn't want the responsibility to have to pay for electric and stuff like that. So it's like, fuck it. Why? I don't want those responsibilities. So they would refuse. They'd literally come up to me and say, look, I just want to go to a hotel for like 2 weeks. And it's like, well, the system, we can't do that. Well, that's all I want. Well, I can't do that. Okay, well, then I'll just go back. And then they posted themselves down by the fucking stadium under the bridge. They'd rather do that than try to find a house. You know, and those are kind of things you're combating. And it's like, so, I mean, there's a lot of different views to pros and cons to money moving around. And Matt, I agree with you, like, in the sense that, like, I can't imagine, like, if I had $400 million, I don't know what the fuck I would do with $400 million because I tell myself all the time, all I need is the lottery to hit. I need $2 million. That's all I need to live the greatest life I've ever had in my entire life because I take $1 million, pay off all my bills, pay off all my family and my friends' bills, and then I'd still have a shit ton of money to blow on doing whatever the fuck I wanted, and then I'd have $1 million I'd put in the bank, and I'd live off the fucking interest for the rest of my life. So, you know, and that's $2 million. $400 million? Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, that's one of the reasons why the states love getting that Powerball or any of these big lottery jackpot winners because the state gets half of it. The state gets, if it's a $1.6 billion thing, the government's taking $700 million of that.
Usually California.
Or Illinois,
magically they tend to win.
Florida. Yeah.
A lot of it's been California. Those big $1 billion jackpots have been California magically. All right, so talking about continuing to talk about crazy mayors, talk about crazy shit. Don't know why. And maybe you guys can fill me on this because I am completely ignorant on why the fuck, other than the fact that we got to have some of the dumbest fucking people in Cincinnati possible. But Aftab Purvell has been reelected to Cincinnati for another 4-year term.
4 fucking years.
I mean,
holy shit.
He won by a landslide.
I know.
It wasn't close.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean,
like,
you look
we
at
have
the
to have some of
electorate.
the dumbest fucking people in Cincinnati because, I mean, literally, you have somebody, and pardon the expression, but somebody fucking railing you in the ass without lube for 4 fucking years and not even giving you the goddamn courtesy of a reach around. And you bitch about it for 4 years, and then you know what you do? You say, hey, you know what? Give me another 4 years of it.
Well, I mean, you got to look at a lot of the areas that voted that they're Democrat communities. Sorry to say, they really are.
Democrat communities. Tell me what's gotten better in those communities.
Oh, I agree with you.
We wouldn't know
agree with
because
you.
we don't live in those communities anymore. We moved out of those communities.
Well,
I mean, a lot of them communities are.
I can see with my own eyes that, you know, it's like, tell me what's gotten better.
I mean, nothing in Cincinnati's gotten better. It's gotten worse.
Right.
But people tend to continue voting the same way as they've always done. And I mean, I think Corey Bowman only did well in like Hyde Park and then West Price Hill, Sedamsville, Sailor Park. They were the only areas that he did well in.
He also fucked himself by lying too. Is that correct or not? Am I even correct about that? So he lied.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember what he lied on.
They say he lived here for where he voted at, lived here for where he taxed at, or something like that, paid taxes at, then lied about something else. I don't know. He got caught up in a small little scheme. So maybe in the long run he could win. But these next 4 years, obviously. But
I doubt it. I don't think you're going to have a Republican mayor in the city of Cincinnati. Cincinnati is too blue.
all city council was re-voted
All
back
blue.
into, except for one person. She stepped down.
Yep.
And I mean, that's where, like, unfortunately, like, I hate
I mean,
seeing how, like,
you're not getting any ideas from the other side, and I think that's the problem.
well, and to be honest with you, that's where, like, I hate to say it this way, but I'm gonna say it this way. Cincinnati deserves everything that happens to it.
Yep.
You know, the
Well, I mean, same thing with what you can say with New York. I mean, you've already seen the fire chief step down in New York.
yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
guarantee you're gonna probably see some
You know.
more shit in
Well, hold on.
Cincinnati.
Why did he, Josh, then elaborate on that. Why did he step down?
I don't know the exact reason, but they just said he's stepping down after the election.
Because
For
he's
the
a
mayor.
Jewish descent. He's a Jewish descent.
Yeah, there you go.
So what do Muslims hate the most?
Yep.
Jewish descent. So, anyway, we're not
But
talking about
yeah,
that.
I mean, Cincinnati. I think the only way they're going to get AFTAB is that if this whole thing comes back with Chief TG whatever her name is, if come to find out there's a lot more to it, and it's going to affect the city manager and him, he might be forced to step down. He might get
He's
voted
not.
out.
There's not enough to force a step down, but she'll get a buyout.
I mean,
She'll get paid.
but no, but then it's going to cost the taxpayers money because you got her as a buyout, and you also have the fire chief as a buyout. He's
but
suing
guess
as
what?
well.
But guess what?
Oh, it's coming out of that train money that we got that he sold. That's probably why.
No, not even that. I'm just saying he's already reelected, so what's the matter? He's won. He won.
It
won.
doesn't. He won, but I mean, there's still repercussions if he gets voted out. So they can still get him to be what I can't remember what the no confidence or something in the mayor. It's not what the president has or any of them, but they can still get him out.
I mean, it takes a lot, but at the same time, I don't see it happening because, I mean, you look at all the shit that's happened over the past
I
4
don't.
years, and they didn't get him out. Instead, they brought him back in for another 4 years. And, you know, the biggest thing I will say, I'm going to say it now so that in a year, 2 years, somebody can't come back and say, hey, you know, Dr. B's a dick. The thing that breaks my heart is that there are going to be a lot of innocent people that are going to suffer because people voted for this man and voted for the city council that is going to continue to trash Cincinnati. It's going to get worse. It's no longer going to be. It's going to continue to be an unsafe environment for people to walk around. I mean, perfect example. And Josh, you can attest to this because you know you were with me and we've talked to him. But I mean, how many people that were from out of town when we were at the football games? And Matt, you may have had this happen, but when we're at the football games and people from out of town come up and they go, "Is downtown really as bad as stuff like that?" Like they're scared. Like so.
They ask where they should stay away from.
Right. And unfortunately,
what's safe in
I have to
Wisconsin?
tell them everywhere, just go to Newport. It's safer. Like, and it's sad. You know, Cincinnati could have a great tourist. You know, we got a lot of shit to offer. We're gonna lose all that stuff. We're not gonna have any opportunities for big competitions to come in. We're going to lose those because companies and stuff are not going to want to risk it.
Well, that's why we put all that money in that convention center so we can have like the Democratic National Convention come here or
the
the Republican National Convention.
That's the only fucking thing.
We got Reds Fest coming up.
Okay.
Also, honestly, let's bounce off that a little bit before the re-election even happened. Don't you think it's funny how the fucking video of the Jazz Fest came out right beforehand, and it show how the not going in the race, but going in the race, the black guys were starting to fight all those white Russians.
Oh yeah, it clearly shows who the instigators were, and it's opened
Yep.
up a bigger lawsuit because it definitely shows who was throwing the first hits and everything, who was the instigators. It clearly shows. Now, it saddens me that you still have people that are like, well, you see, the motherfucker. I mean, the white guy's getting, the Russian guy's getting kicked. You know, the fuck you supposed to do? You ain't gonna sit there and take that. The fact that he only slapped the guy, hell, I'm impressed he only did that. I would have fucking knocked somebody out. But most situations nowadays, guess what? Just because you have beef with one person doesn't mean you're only fighting one.
No comment.
I know. And, so it's mind baffling. But
It's disgusting. Is what it really is. The city will come down to. But at the end of the day, is I'm not worried about it. I don't live in the city no more, so I'm okay with it. So fuck it. It is what it is.
well, and it's like I said, Cincinnati, downtown Cincinnati, Cincinnati in general.
Suffer. You saw this past Sunday morning. 7 people got shot. 4 are dead. Now there's 7 shots.
Well, it was funny is one of them the Privy Club on Elm Street downtown. I think there's like four people shot. They found a gun the next day in between the bushes. Like if a kid was out walking, they literally could have picked that gun up. Like, come on, plain as day. Like, that's how sad it is.
Honestly, like I
And
said,
and,
dude,
and again, they're refusing help by the governor. The governor said, "Just ask, and we will help you."
again, I worry about my family only, and I care about my fucking country, but I can move out away from this shit every damn day because I can afford that. Because I work for my
Hmm.
fucking ass off. So we can't do anything about the city. We can say about the county. It's not the city. So it is what it is at the end of the day. I mean, we live in a city, but guess what? I guarantee you come out to my country, different kind of situation.
All right, so we're gonna move on to unfortunately the
No,
the fun
no,
topic. We're gonna start with
no.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I didn't do fucking shit.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I didn't do fucking shit.
So in case you're wondering there, the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm not even gonna call it their defense because they are fucking terrible. So there are only, if you do not know the NFL, there are only 32 teams in the NFL. The defense ranks 32,
36. 36, I heard.
36 in all categories.
They're negative. They're negative.
They actually came out with the top 3 of the worst defenses in the NFL. Number 3
All
was
time.
the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 2 was the Cincinnati Bengals. And number 1, leading the top, was again the Cincinnati fucking Bengals. So, total defense, the Cincinnati Bengals, and I hate calling them defense because, again, a defense is something that actually stops somebody. They're giving up an average of 426 yards per game. That's the average. They have allowed 89 fourth quarter points through 9 games. Through the first 9 games, the Bengals had the highest points per drive allowed since the NFL has began tracking it in the year 2000.
So here's a couple things too. So as of November 2025, the Bengals had 109 missed tackles through 9 games.
Yeah.
They're on pace for over 200 for the season.
Do
The
you
record-
have what the closest to them is after that? Because I think the next team below them is like 70 or something like that.
Yeah, so the record is 165
Oh, we're gonna
missed
break
tackles
record.
in the season. So speaking of that, let's talk about the top players in the league leading in
Boom.
missed
There you go.
tackles.
Top 10, right?
Top 10. You've got Jordan Battle, 15 missed tackles. Number 2, surprise, Demetrius Knight Jr. with 14. Surprise, Geno Stone with 13.
Mr. Who's
Then
going
a
to pay
couple more,
cut?
Mr. A few other people, and then surprise, Barrett Carter with 10 missed
Who-
tackles.
Who replaced
Granted, two
Wilson?
are linebackers that are rookies. Okay, we understand that. But you've got two safeties in there in the top 10. The safeties are supposed to be the players that are the back end. Hey, not let anybody go. They're supposed to be our safety net. Yeah. Top 1, Jordan Battle and Geno Stone. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. So we are on pace to hit over 200 missed tackles by the end of the season. As Commanders have 76 missed tackles, the Steelers have 69, Raiders 66, Seahawks 65. We are 40 missed tackles more than anybody else in the league. That is absolutely ridiculous.
So, okay. So, we're into that. Where do we go? How do we blame?
I mean, obviously, you got to blame player development. You got to go after Duke Tobin. You're the one drafting these players. You're the one who's signing these players.
Well, I go.
So
up
it starts
one.
with you.
I go to the front office. The fact that the Cincinnati Bengals, and I know we've talked about this, the fact that the Cincinnati Bengals has what? 3 scouts on their whole entire scouting team? Guess what? It ain't doing the fucking job. Okay? You ain't got enough people to cover the NFL or cover college football. I mean, hell, you're with 2 or 3 people, you're lucky if you can cover one state.
Well, they said there was a game in Indianapolis. I can't remember. It was a big game between 2 big teams. Every team had a scout there except for the Bengals.
No, you're inaccurate. Sorry. I'm going to call you out on that. Sorry. It was Iowa State versus UC here, and Bengals were the only team that was non-existent there for a scouting team.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. You could have just said
yeah.
It was the local. Yeah.
Local. It was home. It was home schooled.
Literally, just have to leave your parking lot and drive a mile down the road.
15 minutes to get through the city.
From your job, yes. From your job. Not from their house, from their job.
Well, I'm saying from their job.
Yeah.
Leave the parking lot.
From Paul Brown.
Yeah.
Take about 15 minutes to get there.
So
that's where I say it starts. Is the front office? They don't
Well-
have the tools. Then you got this, so-called GM that's not doing his fucking job. Then it goes down to Zach Taylor that he's the head coach. It's his fucking responsibility to make sure that his coaching staff are doing their job. Then I'd say it goes to the defense coordinator. So I don't say it starts with the defense coordinator.
Well, I mean, if we got to go back to last year with Lou Amarillo, we all called for his head, and because he had pretty much the same roster, and they struggled with missed tackles, all this stuff. So at that point, you've got to not only blame the coach, and you've got to start putting the blame on the players. And now you're starting to see the offensive players start to run their mouth, which I think is going to cause a bunch of infighting. And again, I said it last year, and I'll say it again. I don't think Zach Taylor has that team. I think he lost it. I think he lost it last year.
He does not have that locker room. Absolutely.
Nope.
Like, he has no control of that locker room. And I mean, perfect example. I mean, not only did you see, like you said, a couple players already talk shit, which it was well deserved. They deserve to talk shit. I mean, Jamar Chase walking out, and the camera zooms in, and you hear Jamar Chase say, "One fucking stop." Like, that's all you need. One fucking. That's all he said. One fucking stop. And then Chase Brown, he's pissed. He said, like, "Get off the fucking field." Like, they're not
One
wrong.
stop.
They're not
Well,
wrong.
I mean, that's two. So if you look at go back to the Jets last week, and before the end of the half, they had 1:12 left. They went right down the field and scored. I think it was a field goal, but they scored. Then you go to against Chicago. You score right before half. You give the ball back with minute 3 left. They go down and score. You take the lead with 54 seconds left. What do? You let them go down and score to win the game. Even though all they had to do was get in field goal range to kick a field goal. But that field goal kicker was struggling that day. He had a missed one that unfortunately we fucked up, and that ended up being a touchdown, and then we blocked one. So,
Whew. You guys are gonna hate me a little bit here. Second.
No, we're not.
go for it.
We are. The Duke Tobin situation and player development. Fire the whole squad. Reset.
I don't disagree with you.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna regret saying this probably, but it is what it is. You're not gonna fire Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor is actually doing his job to a certain point. Al Golden is his boy because Lou Anarumo was his scapegoat last year to get fired, and Al Golden was his hire. To me, it's your first year. Let's give him time to develop this shit. The worst thing scenario is we gave in to Joe Burrow. He wanted his offensive gurus, everybody to get paid, and they got paid. So where did 90% of our money go? To our offense.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you on that because if you look
Let me finish.
you,
Let me finish disagree with you, okay? So it went there, and Zach Taylor's coattails go off of fucking Joe Burrow's fucking staying healthy for our team. Y'all can agree with me on that. I know that for a fact. But the Bengals reached out, made a trade for Flacco, and Flacco is fucking having a great fucking time with our offense. May not have the best offensive line, but they're holding their shit together right now for Flacco to have games back-to-back of almost 38 points plus. But our defense is fucking sucking. You cannot draft a third or a second round fucking linebacker and a sixth round linebacker and expect to come in and just like dominate. We just traded our third round draft pick who was in our Super Bowl years ago. We signed him to a multi-year contract and he's just as bad. Traded him to Dallas for a seventh round draft pick. At least we got something out of his ass. We saved money in the long run for that situation. I mean, yeah, Duke Tobin and his whole staff needs to go. Zach Taylor's not as bad as we think as an offensive coordinator. And I'm the last guy in the world to say this. For the last 2 games, he's putting those points up. Sorry. It's all on defense. It's all Mike Brown's not gonna change his mind. It doesn't matter what you say at the end of the day. You got to develop. If you're not developing, Zach Taylor's a little bit of fault in that development situation. Don't get me wrong, but he's more offense than defense. So we fire him in the long run. Maybe bring in a fucking head coach. That's what I'm saying.
So I want to disagree on one of your points. So
Sure, on anything.
you're talking about
Okay.
no. So you're talking about the Bengals paying the offense and not really worrying about the defense. So if you look at through the NFL, they typical offenses, they pay about 55 to 60% of their payroll goes towards the offense. 35 to 40% goes to the defense. That's exactly where the Bengals are at. That's where almost every other team in the NFL is at. So it's not that we're not paying our defensive players. It's just we are not developing players, which you have to have coaching to develop players. Yes, I know Zach Taylor is an offensive coach, which, yes, the last couple of years we have been able to score points, but we haven't been able to stop anybody. We're not developing our defense. That comes back onto coaching, your coaching hires. So you can't always be the scapegoat. You've got to take accountability, and that's the one thing I don't think Zach Taylor takes. He doesn't take accountability of his team. He places the blame on other people. And it's time for him to go. I've said it for 2 years. I've said it since the Super Bowl. I did not like him as a coach. I like him as an offensive coordinator. Yes. But I do not like him as a coach.
Well, hold on. Stop you there for a second. And, I'm agree with you 100% a little bit here. He said after 2000, he thought he was going to be fired because of accountability. But stuck with him. Then the following year, they made it to the Super Bowl. That's all I got to say. That's all I got.
Well, and I will throw out that, because you guys made a key point. Is he a great? Do I think Zach Taylor is a great offensive coordinator? Yeah, he shows it.
No, I don't think he's great. I think he's good. I think he's really good. I mean, he's great.
I might be using great loosely, but I mean, if you got a team that's putting up as many fucking offensive points as you're doing something right.
Yeah,
but he's not a head coach. He is not a head coach. And that's our, so we got that problem. And then, Matt, like you said, the defensive coordinator, it's his first year. They're not going to get rid of him, probably. They're going to say, hey, give you a
And they're
chance.
starting to get a lot of young players.
Well, you know what? Then here's the thing. I'll give the guy a chance. You know what I do? I give a clean slate. I get rid of the whole fucking defense and say, pick your defense. That would be the perfect world. Is I go to Tobin and say, you know what? Defense is gone. Pick your defense. You make your team. You develop your team, and let's fucking do something. Because right now these guys are fucking terrible.
Well, I mean, you got to go back. It's a lot on Duke Tobin. You drafted Miles Murphy as a number 1 pick a couple years ago. What's he turned in? Nothing. Shamar Stewart looks to be a bust right now. Sorry to say. Dax Hill.
I don't want to cut you off, Josh.
Looks to be a bust.
Josh, I don't want to cut you off, but Joe, that's your point right there in emphasis. Like, you want to start over? We did start over, dude. We started over, but Duke Tobin cannot succeed at where it's at. If Al Gordon's going to succeed at what he is as the defensive coordinator, he needs a new fucking developer at fucking Duke's position. Duke position. Duke. Oh god. Duke. I'm triggering this. Sorry.
Duke Tobin.
Duke Tobin has been fucking up the whole situation for our defense. Our offense is legit. Our offensive line is the best in the world, but they're capable of enough to give us 42 points a game. But our defense is giving up 48 points a game. That's a fucking problem with our developing. Sorry. Go ahead.
So here you go. So this is their 2024 draft. Amarius Mims. Still undecided about him. He's got flashes of being good, but then he's got flashes of not being so good. But still a pretty solid player. Okay. Then we go to the defensive selections. Chris Jenkins, a backup. Second round pick is a backup. Not very good. Your third round pick, Jermaine Burton, hasn't seen the field. McKinley Jackson, backup, not very good.
That's a discredit.
Eric
Right?
Gall, start. He got injured, so I can't really say anything about him. Josh Newton, cornerback, not very good. Wave Tanner McLaughlin. Cedric Johnson, not good. DeHaan Anthony, not good. Matt Lee Cedric, DeHaan Anthony, Matt Lee, they're all in IR right now. So the only player you have really helping this Bengals team is Amarius Mims. That's your 2024 draft. You go to the one prior, Miles Murphy. I'm sorry, he's a bust. He's not doing very good. DJ Turner shows flashes, but I didn't like that pick. I didn't think he was very good. Jordan Battle.
Stop right there. Sorry. I'm going to cut you off right there on DJ Turner. He's having the best statistical year for a Bengal ever right now. For being home, current year, apologize. He is doing great for us. He's way better than Cam to the Brit. That's not saying much.
Yeah, but I still think.
Yeah.
I still don't like him as. I didn't like that pick at all. Jordan Battle. We just mentioned that he's not very good. Charlie Jones. I mean, he's very injury prone, and yes, he did help us out with a couple nice run backs. Chase Brown, yeah, I think that was a solid pick where we got him at in the 5th round. Yoshi Voss, if he catches the ball. I mean, he's not a true third receiver. Brad Robbins is already cut. DJ Ivy, I don't think he's on our team anymore. Or he's on special teams. Yeah, he's on special teams. So you haven't made a big move on your defense. You've gotten nobody. 2022, Daxton Hill, terrible. Cam Taylor-Britt, I thought he was going to be a stud after his first year, but now he's completely regressed. Now, why? It's got to be coaching.
Well, Cam Taylor-Britt, I think, has a cockiness on his part. So ever since he stopped somebody, there's a little sore thing. Stop him. Buddy, you're getting burnt left to right. Now Turner doing a great job on the defensive side. He's still we're going to build off of. Cam Taylor-Britt, we'll be back with next year. If he is,
we only have Turner for his 2023 pick, so 23, 24, 25. He's only on contract for another year.
it's fine.
So you're gonna have to figure that one out.
You know, Cam Taylor-Britt or Turner?
Cam Taylor-Britt, he's up. I think he's at the end of the year. He's a free agent. Daxton Hill's got at least one more year. If we offer him the
No. This was his Daxton Hill's 5th year.
No, it's his 4th year. He was drafted in 2022. Yeah.
Okay. So
he's a first-round pick, so he gets 4 years and then that 5th year option. So we would have to.
So the way I'm looking at it next year is you're gonna revamp that whole defense. Stone's gone. Battle was going to be probably a depth chart guy. We're going to draft somebody at safety where Battle's going to challenge a guy. Battle just doesn't know how to challenge. I'll tell you where we're
Nope.
going to be our weakness says. Barrett Carter's going to be our fucking middle linebacker, and Demetrius Knight is going to be our outside tackle.
And I'm telling you, if I was the Bengals, I would continue to lose, get in the top 5 draft, and you go out and you draft fucking Caleb Downs from Ohio State, best safety in college by far. Draft him.
Don't know about college football that much, but I've not read into it much. But
No. Caleb Downs he came from originally from Alabama, transferred to Ohio State last year because Nick Saban left. Won a national title with them, and now he's got an opportunity to get back to back, and he's going to go in the draft. He'll be the top safety in the draft. He should be probably a top 7 pick, I would say. So, if the Bengals are smart, they would lose and get that opportunity to grab that kid, because that kid is legit.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I would never want to lose. As a franchise, never. As a quarterback,
I
never.
agree with you. I mean, we all wanted freaking the Bengals to lose to go get Joe Burrow. We didn't want them to win to get out of that number 5 spot, so we couldn't get Chase.
I don't know about that. So.
Although, I mean, that brings it up. What would you rather have? Would you rather have that offensive line that's been a stud for Detroit or Jamar Chase? That was our choices.
Sorry. I agree. That's different level. Sorry. That's different level. Sorry. It is. I get what you're saying about. I mean, he's the best right tackle right now in the league. He's getting paid for it too. But we're the best receiver in the game. I mean, Joe Burrow does not make Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase makes Jamar Chase. I mean, look what he's doing with Flacco right now.
Oh, no, I agree. I think he's an elite receiver, probably one of the best that's ever going to play.
So you're saying we went in the right direction, the wrong direction? It's just it's like Joe said before, we can't player develop. So
Yeah, I mean,
again,
that's Duke Tobin's claim to fame right now is, I drafted Joe Burrow and I drafted Jamar Chase and T. Well, T. Higgins was a first-round draft grade receiver anyway. Jamar Chase was the best receiver in that class. And then you've got Joe Burrow, who's obviously the number 1 quarterback in that draft. I mean, they could have easily traded out of that number 1. They could have traded down to like the number 4, number 5, and got Justin Herbert instead, and got extra draft picks to help the team. But they didn't.
The Bengals have always had okay quarterbacks. I mean, Carson Palmer, Andy Dalton after that. Andy Dalton was not bad at all. He really wasn't.
No, it's just in the 90s we couldn't draft a quarterback.
So after that, it was just, it's Joe Burrow. It's just like, now we got a quarterback. Actually, his younger year, second year, took us to a fucking Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
How do we get back to that? Like, yeah, horrible offensive line. So blame the offensive line. Go ahead.
You go back to the teams that we went far into playoffs. What was the difference between then and now? Our defense. We had a top 10 defense the Super Bowl year and also the year after. Now we've got a 32nd ranked defense in I think 29th, 28th last year. So that's the difference.
But the one thing we want to blame right now is like, okay, so Joe Burrow, he got his way. So he got his 2 receivers, he got his tight end paid.
Again, Again, you look at teams. They are between 60 and 65%. They spend on offense, 35% on defense. We just don't know how to draft the great talent on defense to where other teams can. Look at Philadelphia. They continue to get richer on the defensive line. They've been drafting great defensive lines. They've been making moves. Look at every single team that's been making moves to get better. The Bengals, hey, you're not very good. What can you do to get good? You get more draft picks, and you don't do anything.
So we got to do Tobin, for instance. That's where it's at. We all agree it's the talent development.
Yeah. And you look what the Jets just did. The Jets traded Sauce Gardner, who just signed a new contract this year. Just this year. 4 years, $40 million. Traded to the Colts. The Jets got 2 first-round picks for him. Then they traded Quinnen Williams for another first-round pick.
Second round pick. A second round next year and the first round the following year. So
now the Jets have 3 first-round picks. I think next year or 2 next year, 2 something stupid.
You're correct. You're correct. They currently have their own. Which is probably the worst in the league. They got 1
from Indianapolis.
So that's 2 for next year.
And then 3 the following
year. They got 2 second rounders now for next year. So that's what they got. So the following year, they have 2 first rounders again.
No, yeah, 3.
3. Apologize. 3.
Yeah, yep. They're going to have theirs. They're going to have Indies, and then they're going to have Dallas's.
Correct.
So I mean, that's what you have to do in order for you to get better. If you want talent, you got to trade your players that you can to get draft picks, to draft younger, to draft the talent.
So you're saying why did they trade Trey Hendrickson?
They probably should have.
No, I mean, like, it's like Zach Taylor said, like, in the last 5 years, like, when it comes down to adversity, we believe in the group we're with. We're going to keep pushing with the group we're with, which they give them a lot of shit. But last year, what happened? They won the last 5 games of the year, and I'm not going to try to beat that bush, but they did. But that's with the healthy Joe Burrow. They got Flacco. Come on. Can they win to make the playoffs? We didn't win the playoffs last year, but can we finish above 500 next year? This year? I'm sorry. Next year.
I mean, hopefully. But here's to your point. So this was the five games that we won at the end of the year. The Bengals beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys weren't a playoff team. They beat the Titans, not a playoff team. The Browns, not a playoff team. The Broncos, they did win 30-24, which was a great game. And then we beat the Steelers in the final game of the year. Steelers didn't matter because the Steelers were already in the playoffs. It didn't really matter for them. So we won 4 games. We should have. 1 game could have went either way, but we still pulled out the W. But
at the end of the day,
yes, we
go ahead.
Yes, we won, but I think them are the games that we were supposed to win. Anyway.
But at the end of the day, right now, do we have a chance for the playoffs? Yes, we still do in our division. That's what he's thinking on. Our division. He's not worried about anything else but our division right now. We come out of the bye week. We play Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh. We just beat Pittsburgh. So like, it's scary to say. I mean, honestly, can we beat them? I don't fucking know. They just beat Indianapolis, but
So
They
what?
can.
So what if all of our wins are against our division and lose to everybody else? That would be fucked up.
It doesn't matter as long as we win our division.
I know. Well, and yeah, it does matter because if the Steelers have the better record or Ravens have the better record, they would still be
No,
in the
no,
playoffs over us.
no. You're correct. No, I'm just saying no. I'm not saying we win all of our division games. I understand there. That part would be funny. But if we win, we still got 2 games against the Ravens, one against the Browns, and one against fucking Pittsburgh. That's 4 games. We win those 4 games plus a little. If we win our division, I mean, Joe Burrow come back healthy at the end of the year. I mean, you there?
I mean, the problem is our defense still has to stop somebody. Oh, we lost Matt again.
No, he's still there. I think we
I
lost.
think his phone died.
I think he's there, but I think we lost the picture.
That's what happened last time when his phone died. Oh, it's reconnecting. Anyway, Joe, what's your take? We haven't heard about you. Quit scrolling on your fucking porn, dude.
I wish, but I'm completely at a loss in terms of like the Bengals. Like I don't understand. There's teams that have had long stints of not doing well, but they make improvements. You know, our team's owner and leadership does just enough to squeak by. You know, and they're okay with that. It's disgusting because, like, we've shown. I mean, case in point. I know we're beating a dead horse, but our offense is fucking nasty in terms of they could score out the fucking ass. I mean, they can do their job. They can put
except for the first couple weeks of the year.
And I blame that on coaching. Like that's not preparing your players.
Yep, I do too. I know.
But all in all, I mean, we have the fucking weapons to do amazing things. You know, our offense could do amazing things. The problem is that our offense can't win it all if our defense is allowing 40-plus points a game and 500 yards of offense.
I think that's the third game this year we've gave up 500 yards.
Yeah, I mean that's
terrible. And I said it. I was talking to my stepdad during that Chicago game. I'm like, holy shit! Chicago already has over 250 yards, or almost 300 yards, and it's only halftime. It's like that's fucking pathetic. And then I looked at the time of possession. They were killing us in the time of possession.
Well, and I mean,
so.
You know, I put the whole defense at fault, but I mean, I've been saying it since the beginning of the year. Our secondary is terrible. Like they've been trashed the whole entire season, and then you add the front line that is making. I mean, besides everyone
not getting any pressure.
There's no pressure, none. Quarterback can sit back there, put a lawn chair, take a couple drinks,
or
throw the ball.
Or he jukes the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Like Caleb Williams did multiple times, and Justin Fields did.
So, I mean,
So what you're saying is you're not coming to another Bengals home game. Is what you're saying. You're giving up. You're selling your tickets.
I mean,
So if anybody wants to buy tickets, Joe is
I-
selling his tickets.
I posted the next 2 home game tickets for sale because, like, I mean, I'm still a fan. Don't get me wrong, but
You're a fair weather fan.
fuck you.
Just saying. I still go, motherfucker.
Well, that's fine, Andy, but like,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm dealing with enough depressing shit in my life, and then I go and watch my team, and they depress the fuck out of me even more. Like, the point of going to football is to find some enjoyment. There's no enjoyment anymore. There's no fucking enjoyment whatsoever watching a team that you know in your heart could do something, but they, for whatever reason, are finding a way to fuck themselves. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right, my friend, we are going to end there. So, appreciate everyone staying tuned with Idiocracy Talk Radio. See you next time.
We lost Matt again. Matt's phone died again.
I know.
It's idiocracy, but you gon' see the value and respect though when you talk with me. So come on, baby, walk with me. It ain't a topic that the crew can't touch. Share our views and our vibe. What we hide? It ain't much. This ain't bluffs, this the crew, yeah, we got it. Share our thoughts and our views, you can't stop it. Said this ain't bluffs, it's the crew, yeah, we got it. Idiocracy, tell us what's the topic. Yeah.